Hello and welcome to the Abundology podcast. My name is Renee Spears and I'm a spirit guide channeler and spiritual life and business mentor. And I help people be happy and attract more money, love, time, and joy in their lives. I'm coming to you from a very hot and smoky Bozeman, Montana. It's supposed to be 99 degrees today. And this is the weekly energy update for the week of September 4th, 2022. Every Sunday, I talk about how the energy is going to be for the week ahead, and I also infuse the show with some positive vibes, so you get a little positive energy boost just for listening. And I had a fabulous time on my trip to Mexico City, and I'm so glad I was there to watch my son Tice accomplish his big goal of running a marathon, and to see him be so proud of himself for doing it. It was a great mom moment. And it's Labor Day weekend here in the U.S., and although this isn't the official end of summer, Labor Day always feels like the end of summer to me. Like kids are back in school and we're in back to school mode in Virgo season with our new routines and actually being the new versions of ourselves. And we're back to work after a summer break this week with Mercury going retrograde and a full moon. It is a big week. So September is a transition month. It brings the calming, grounding energy of Virgo, which helps us put our lives back in order after summer. It's also a reflective month with this introspective vibe, which brings deep reflection on the past and the opportunity to address any old issues that we haven't dealt with. So part of this reflective energy comes from Mercury, which enters retrograde for the third time this year on Friday the 9th. And as Mercury enters retrograde, it joins 5 other planets, giving us a total of 6 major planets in retrograde. So when a planet's retrograde, it creates some backward flowing energy that urges us to revisit things from our past, and it digs up things that we've probably swept under the rug. So this Mercury retrograde helps us to uncover messages from our subconscious minds. Things we've hidden away or we've chosen to forget are coming back around, urging us to address them once and for all. And as we know, Mercury rules over technology and travel and communication, so these areas can feel a little sticky or slow during this time. But I like to remember that Mercury is a messenger of the gods. And right now, we're getting messages everywhere. So if you find yourself dealing with tech issues or travel delays, see if you can pay attention to what Mercury might be trying to share with you. And then look for the beauty in the situation. Where's the beauty? Where's the gift? In opening up to the beauty within the circumstances, you also open up to change. What we accept changes more easily. It's when we resist or deny that change slows down and we suffer. So the secret to getting something to change is to look at the beauty in it. So once you find the beauty, you essentially get the lesson, and then change happens. So retrograde energy can also slow things down, making it feel harder to move ahead. But this also means we can use this to our benefit by taking time to rest, to reflect, and to wrap our heads around anything that comes up for review. So Mercury is the planet all about details and information and communication. And when it stations retrograde, it can cause these themes to be more challenging, particularly on the sign that it's stationing in. So this time, Mercury will initially, it changes signs halfway through, be stationing retrograde in Libra, which is all about balance. And this prompts us to reconsider how we meditate, how we connect to the universe, and to find balance in our lives. This retrograde is about balance. Where do you need to rebalance? Libra is also associated with harmony, friendship, romance. And if any of your important relationships are out of balance, this retrograde helps you readjust them and then come out on the other side stronger and more equal. When relationships are out of balance, it doesn't benefit anybody in the relationship. And I've been seeing this lately with clients when one person is giving and doing more than their share, and maybe even making themselves smaller for the sake of the relationship. So if the give and take is lopsided in any of your important relationships, it's about to become a very big deal, and it can create some major misunderstandings. So this retrograde is forcing you to wade through the muck of your relationship trauma and come out of it stronger and more prepared to embrace a deeper love. We're just cleaning up all the relationship inequality right now. It might be a little bit difficult going through it, especially since this could be a little emotional, but oh my gosh, it needs to be done. This is the time to do it. So later in the month, on the 23rd, Mercury actually retrogrades back into Virgo. And so since this is the sign where Mercury is the happiest, we're going to feel slightly more productive than the first half of the retrograde. However, don't expect to be super productive right now. Instead, use this time to double check details and information. But don't feel too much pressure to tackle everything on your to-do list until Mercury goes direct on October 2nd. So also this week, we have a full moon in Pisces. It's the harvest moon. And the full moon that happens nearest to the fall equinox, which is the 22nd, I believe, this month, it always takes on the name of the harvest moon. So unlike other full moons, this full moon rises at nearly the same time around sunset for several evenings in a row, and this gives farmers extra time and moonlight to finish up harvesting before the frost arrives in the fall. So Pisces is a mutable water sign, and this means that we may feel like we're floating. Things may feel a little foggy or scattered. We may feel all over the place and unable to find our footing, and then even a little directionless or like we're having trouble feeling grounded. But just by knowing this, you can give yourself permission to go with it. There's no pressure right now to figure out what you're doing with your life. This is not the time to do that. And we don't want to beat ourselves up because we're not getting enough done. You might as well just enjoy the ride. Daydream, or do something creative, or just live in the flow and do whatever comes up. Just don't fight it. Now, with all the haze surrounding this full moon, it's a good reminder that something is coming from a place of, when something is coming from a place of alignment, meaning it's rooted in your subconscious feelings and wishes, it will feel natural, possibly even neutral. So if it's coming from a place of alignment, it feels natural and neutral. It will not make you feel scared or anxious. So pay attention to your dreams too, as they're going to probably be really heightened under this full moon. And because Mercury is a messenger of the gods, there are probably important messages in there. So you can make the most of the full moon messages by dream journaling maybe a few days before and a few days after the full moon. Now, Pisces is also the last sign of the zodiac, and it has a big connection to endings. Right now, as I'm sitting here recording this podcast, it just feels like summer is ending. And this full moon illuminates what needs to be released from your life. And since Mercury retrograde is happening too, it will probably involve outdated beliefs. And because the full moon is in Pisces, it will probably be emotional. It's more than likely an emotional state or a belief you've been wandering around with for quite a while, and it's just time to let that sucker go. It just isn't serving you anymore. Now, my first Bandology Academy class on how to attract money is this week, and I have to say, no coincidences, it's perfect timing because we're going to be focusing on releasing and changing outdated money beliefs that just aren't serving us anymore, so that we can attract more money and abundance. Also, one last thing. Since this is the harvest moon, things we've been working on for the past 6 months since that new moon in Pisces in March are finally ending, and we are harvesting the fruits of our labor. Now, these may be unexpected gifts from all our hard work, so just be sure to keep your arms open to whatever the universe wants to bring and trust in the timing. Okay, so let's recap all of this. Mercury retrograde will bring up things from our past, and it gives us the opportunity to deal with and release them, including outdated beliefs and relationship imbalances. This is the time to rebalance ourselves, especially regarding meditation and our inner peace and spiritual connection. And we want to do that to help us enjoy the floaty, untethered, foggy, scattered vibes of this full moon. Almost like you've had a couple cocktails. Yeah, that sort of a vibe. And we just want to go with it. Allow yourself to float. And if you don't get everything on your to-do list done, oh well, it'll be there tomorrow. We're releasing anything and everything that isn't for our highest good so that we can move forward. And we're harvesting the results of all the work we've put in for the last 6 months. And that's it for the week. I have extended the early bird price for the Bandology Academy classes through Tuesday. On Wednesday this week is the first class on how to attract money. And I have been asked, what does attracting money have to do with spirituality? Okay. Everything? So money for many of us is a way to keep aligned. To attract money, you have to be present. You have to understand how energy works. Lack of money often points out areas where we may have outdated scarcity beliefs. And probably most importantly, many of us believe that money is something out there, outside of ourselves, that we need to search for or we need to earn. When in fact, attracting money is an inside job, just like everything in life. It's good practice for us to realize that everything originates from inside of us, including the money and the abundance in our life. So I've set up the classes to build upon one another, and it just makes sense that we would start with the basics of energy management, manifesting, changing beliefs, and that we are responsible for how much we attract and have. So I'll put a link in the show notes if you'd like to join us for the class or get the recording. And you can find more info on Abundology.com too. So as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for not making it a big deal that I took a week off for vacation. We all need vacation. We all need to recharge. I appreciate you listening and sharing this podcast with a friend you think may find value in it, and enjoy the week.